How do you ask a favour from someone you've been out of touch with without feeling like a leech? I'm Marsha from YesYesMarsha.com, networking that's actually fun. And this is another episode of Ask Yes Yes Marsh, where you ask me questions, often anonymously, because a lot of the questions around networking, you kind of want to remain anonymous. So the question this week from our anonymous asker is, how do I reconnect with long-lost colleagues who might be helpful now without feeling like I'm just using them? So the first thing that you need to do is change your mindset and stop thinking of this interaction as one where like you're coming in and desperately wanting something that they really don't want to give you, because actually you asking them a favour might be nice for them for 3 reasons. 1, they get to hear from an old friend, and you know, if you got on well, that's probably really nice for them if you do it in a classy way. We'll talk about how to. 2, what you're asking for might actually benefit them. Say they recommend you for a job and you are the perfect person for it, then they get social capital from that. And 3, I have this philosophy. I think that all anybody wants in life is, first of all, to feel truly seen and heard and understood, and that's what to feel loved is. And secondly, to feel like they've been of service, to feel like they've left the world better off than they found it. So by asking someone to do you a favour, you're basically giving them the opportunity to feel like they left you better off, and so they've justified their existence on the planet. But you do have to go about it in a classy way. So what does that mean? Now, I have made your life much easier by putting together a little email template for you to follow. You can get the link to download that just below this video, but I'm just going to kind of run over the most important points. The first is start the email by showing an interest in them. Don't just barrel in, not having spoken to them for months or even years, asking them your favour. Now, to do this, you could do a tiny bit of research. Just have a look on Facebook, have a look on their LinkedIn or their Twitter and see what they've been up to. Even if you're just going in saying, hope you had a great trip to Singapore last week, or whatever, just something that shows that you are asking them in particular something and that you're interested in them. If you can ask them about their kids, even better. People love talking about their kids. When someone asks me about my stepson, even if I'm pretty sure they're just doing it to be polite, I will talk for like 20 minutes, because talking about him or thinking about him makes me feel like someone's slowly injecting sunshine into my soul. So give them that experience. The second point is that you should have appropriate levels of humility in asking them. So I don't mean being like, oh, please can you do this? I'm so sorry to ask. But just, you know, acknowledge the fact that they are doing you a favour and just be like, it would be so great, I hope you don't mind, something like that. The third thing is make sure that your ask is very, very clear. What I mean by this is I often get long emails from people that are paragraphs and paragraphs, and I think, but I can tell you want something, but I can't really tell what it is that you want. So make it very clear what it is that you're asking for. And the next point is that you need to make it as easy as possible for them to do this favour. So, for example, you may or may not know that I have a book coming out called Off the Mic, Stand-Up Comedians Get Serious About Comedy. And after I wrote it, I needed to get some testimonials to have a quote on the back. And so what I did was wrote to some of the comedians I'd interviewed in the past, and rather than just saying, could you give me a quote, I said, I'd really like a quote, if that's possible, that would be fantastic, here's what it's for. For example, something like, and then I wrote 2 or 3 sentences that it would be great if they wrote, so that they could either reword those or so that they weren't starting with a blank slate. Or if you are asking someone to recommend you for a job, then lay out very clearly what you're looking for and what your skills are, and then suggest to them that they can just forward this email that you've sent to them to whoever that person is. And then the final point is, make sure you thank them. Even if they don't do the favour for you, they've read the email to that point. So, to review, if you are asking an old colleague for a favour, it's fine to do that because it benefits them, but do it in a classy way. As I said, you can grab hold of the email template for how to do that below. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know whether you have ever had any experience with tapping up an old friend for a favour, or if you tried the email template and it worked for you. Let me know over in the comments at YesYesMarsha.com. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a like on YouTube. You can subscribe as well. And if you want even more tips, secrets and stories that I won't put on the internet, and sometimes secret videos too, then head on over and join the Yes Yes Marsha mailer family at YesYesMarsha.com. I'm Marsha, and I'll see you there.